overhang,
plate.
right.
But everything else is coming out. And
the sad thing about it, the grandstand, which was torn down this week, it actually looks better with it gone. It gotten to be in such bad shape toward the end.
It really deteriorated badly.
Man, rough.
Oh,
I've got some old video on the website. I went down and took some video film on Monday as they started to tear it down, and just walking through there was like walking through that some kind of horror movie. It looked so bad in there. It got so worn out, man. That grandstand looked terrible. Big trees growing through the old Pepsi sign. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, wow.
Rough looking stuff.
I had not been in there in a long time, so well, you know, it was structurally unsound. We know that. I mean, they'd gotten architectural reports to that effect. You know, there were cracks in the foundations and all this stuff, and so something had to be done. And I just hope they find a good use for it, because you've got all that space there. You know, find some way to use it.
Yeah, the biggest thing I always thought, why didn't they work a deal with NCA&T to maybe come in and purchase that through some state money or money from somewhere and purchase that for the campus? It's right in the backyard of the campus, right on top of the campus. And
I don't know the answer to that.
Plus, they play their home games anyway.
Well, they did up and through this season, and I don't know what they're going to do now.
Yep, I guess we'll have to wait and see how long this renovation project takes, what they're going to do next year, because that could really put a lot of people out, because Greensboro College plays there too.
Right, yeah.
Put several teams out.
You know, you could move to, I don't think you'll see a college team moving here full time.
Right, they do play a limited couple of games here each year.
Right.
Like UNCG and A&T play a game, and Greensboro College and Guilford play one here every year,
But, you know, possibly you could use a high school field.
Could use Stoner White Stadium.
Stoner White.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
So, I mean, there are some other options, but...
Yeah, one guy came up with an option for Memorial Stadium, and I think this his proposal hit the internets maybe earlier this week, was going to turn it into a softball facility and build a hotel nearby and have major softball tournaments there, maybe have a baseball field on the side somewhere too. Kind of maybe, I know that the only part about his proposal just completely floored me when I saw this, to eliminate the tennis courts or move them. I don't think you eliminate those tennis courts. They just dumped a ton of money into to renovate those to make those better a while back. But if you were to change or move them and put the hotel, whatever his proposal there, might be a good idea. But again, who knows?
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I would say, you know, if they were able to pull that off, more power to whoever.
Yeah, the good thing is, I hope they make it look better than it has been lately, because it has looked extremely bad lately.
Well, I mean, it's been neglected for sure. And
probably about 10 years. The new stadium's been here now, so 10 years, the past decade, it's just sit there in bad shape.
Ninth season here,
almost 10 years. Yeah.
At Newbridge Bank, it was First Horizon when it first.
Sure was, maybe a year or so.
For a couple of 3 years, and then it's been Newbridge Bank 6. But it's the ninth season of the new park.
Well, the current park is hosting a 4-0 ball game on this Thursday night at Newbridge Bank Park. Greensboro Grasshoppers trail the Charleston River Dogs. A lot of history behind Charleston, too. The Yankees farm team, the Hoppers in Greensboro used to be the Yankees, and Charleston got the Yankees. And they had, the Devil Rays before the Yankees, didn't they, back in the day? Remember the Devil Rays?
They were Devil Rays for a while.
Yeah.
And then
I still remember this team back. I don't know who they were with, but back in the day, I think they were called the Charleston Rainbows. Remember that nickname years ago?
Yeah, that one does go back a ways.
Right.
That goes back
probably to the 80s.
Yeah, to the 80s
or 70s,
maybe early 90s.
Yeah.
I don't know who they were affiliated with then, but yeah, they've been in this league for a long time under various nicknames and various affiliations. But that whole Yankees thing was, they were here for, I think it was, they had several spans of years when they were here, but the last time was for 13 seasons.
That's a good run.
And what happened, as I recall, because I remember writing this story, was that when the contract renewals came up, affiliation renewals, the Yankees had been pressuring, the city of Greensboro and the ball club and all sorts of other people
go back to make improvements.
To make improvements to Memorial Stadium. And they kept getting rebuffed. And George Steinbrenner finally got so mad about it that he said, we're not going back to Greensboro. Much to the chagrin of people in his organization who wanted to go back. They loved Greensboro.
Yeah, a guy named Bill Lee, who was like a team owner, I think, about that time, did a lot of that during that time span. I think to try to keep it here and kept working to try to keep that connection with the Yankees working.
And what happened was they sent a letter to they were the Greensboro Bats then, saying we're going to discontinue the affiliation, and they still could have renewed it, but the owners of the team, I think the new owners, Bill Lee and Jim Melvin was another one, the owners, and they started, they had no choice but to look around. They couldn't wait for the Yankees to say yes or no. They had to get a team in here. I know they considered the San Francisco Giants. They considered a couple of other teams. I think it came down to the Marlins were one. I think the Texas Rangers might have been the other one.
Yeah, they've been known to move around a little bit, yeah.
And they finally hooked up with the Marlins. And what happened to the Yankees?
They were looking to disappear altogether with that Class A team, weren't they?
Well, that's what Steinbrenner wanted to do.
Yeah.
He wanted to eliminate his low Class A franchise. Well, the collective bargaining agreement between the major and minor leagues said you can't do that. And he wound up, there's 30 major league teams, there has to be 30 low Class A teams. So they wound up having to take an affiliation with Battle Creek, Michigan, which was a horrendous situation, just an awful ballpark, and they got stuck there for 2 years, and they finally got out of there. And I can't remember if that's when they moved to Charleston.
When they went to Charleston, I remember correctly, it was like Open Arms, and they went to Charleston. New ownership, the Beck family was involved, Bill Murray was involved, just wide open arms.
Yeah, that was a big deal, and I think that's when they must have switched from Tampa Bay to the Yankees.
One time our team plus the connection with the South Carolina teams was pretty big back in the day of the Charleston team and the Capital City Bombers, that Columbia team, which no longer exists.
No, that bit the dust quite some time ago. But I remember going down to that stadium. That's another one of the old stadiums, and it's just as well nobody's playing there anymore, if it even still exists. But you ran right next to the train tracks, and these trains would go roaring by in the middle of the game and blowing their whistles, and it's quite an interesting atmosphere.
I would expect that to be a hot place to watch a game in the summer in Columbia, South Carolina.
Columbia, South Carolina is the hottest place I have ever been in my life. It was miserable there. I mean, it's the kind of place you'd look on the weather map, and it would always be at least 6 to 10 degrees hotter than anywhere around it. I don't know what the atmospheric conditions were that made that happen.
A lot of concrete, a lot of asphalt drawing that heat in.
Man, it was miserable there in the summertime. I do remember that.
So a lot of days in the old baseball, a lot of work going on here, and light rain still falling New Bridge Bank Park. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and talk with Bill Hass some more from GSOHoppers.com. Into the delay right now. Delay with the Greensboro Grasshoppers and Charleston River Dogs. Back with more of our discussion coming up. You're in tune to Greensboro Grasshoppers baseball at New Bridge Bank Park. And again, back after this.
Come check out the new Smart Chevrolet of Madison, where they can get you rolling a new Chevy.
This might be about an hour delay, or what do you think?
Right away, new Chevrolet.
I think it's going to be by the time
estimated 36 miles per gallon. Well, the Chevy Sonic, the Chevy Silverado trucks.
Oh yeah, I was debating my ideas about
the Chevy Malibu.
I don't blame you. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Smart Choice, Smart Chevrolet of Madison, located on Highway 220 north of Madison, right beside the big American flag. Or you can still visit them at Victory
Chevrolet.
Chevrolet.
Jack McKeon came through today. Did you see
the new Smart Chevrolet of Madison? Call them at 247-9383 or go by Victory Chevrolet of Madison.net. You'll find Scott Holland at Holland Auto Care Center, 2906 Battleground Avenue. Holland Auto Care Center is the Napa Auto Care Center, genuine Napa auto parts, brake repair, tire repair, tune-up, state inspection, oil changes, engine repair. Plus, for those warm summer months, air conditioning repair. You name it, they can do it. Holland Auto Care Center.
Yeah, down at Kannapolis on Saturday with rain a little bit lighter than this. They just kept playing. Yeah, they had the tarp on the field at the beginning of the game, took it off before the game started. It was a 30-minute delay. Put it off about 7:35. Then they got ready to put it back on a couple of times. Never put it back on the field. They stopped a couple of times to put the quick dry on.
GreensboroSports.com is your source for everything baseball. Grasshoppers, high school, local colleges, the ACC, summer youth, and adult leagues. GreensboroSports.com is the place to be when you need baseball news and information.
Come on up.
Get to the local source for baseball. baseball. That's greensborosports.com. 24/7. The sports fans haven. That is greensborosports.com. That is greensborosports.com.
At the New Bridge Bank Park on a Thursday night, Hoppers trailing the River Dogs 4-0 into the rain delay here tonight. And Bill Hass is with us. We were talking about the Hoppers and Colin Moran and some of the things going on around the ballpark and how the Hoppers are kind of down in this one. Need to get back in this game tonight, trying to get some regularity going with the team, get some things going their direction. This heat of the summer, even away from the baseball a little bit. I was looking at something today. I was thinking about the All-Star teams that came into town. The football team arrived today. I was thinking 4 o'clock this afternoon. God, I always loved football as a kid. Loved to play that game and really enjoyed it. But I don't think I would probably wanted to be out there at all 4 o'clock in the afternoon, a day like today, especially if you had full gear on.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's those linemen got to be losing all kinds of water weight
Man.
and everything. I can remember covering a ton of those high school all-star games, and always in July, and it always seemed to be blazing hot. And I don't know how anybody get excited about playing football in those conditions. But
No, I don't either.
It
Man.
is.
It's going to be rough, and the games go pretty quickly now, too, because the basketball team